Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. Every day you open YouTube, sends WhatsApp messages, browse Instagram and search on Google. But have you ever stopped to think about what actually happens when you click a website? How does your message travel from somewhere to someone within seconds? How do billions of devices communicate with each other without getting confused? And when you type something like google.com, how does your computer know where Google actually exists? In this video, we are going to uncover the magic behind the internet and understands how the entire system works behind the scenes. By the end of this video, you will understand what the internet really is, how devices communicate, and what happens when you open a website. So let's start. So what is internet? So first let us start what the internet actually is. Most people think internet is something giant cloud floating somewhere in the sky. But that is not true. The internet is simply a massive network of interconnected computers and devices spread across the world. So in fact the what internet comes from the interconnected networks. So think of it like huge transportation systems. Roads connect cities. Similarly, the internet connects devices. Okay, your phone, your laptop, your smart TV, your server, your tablets, and your data centers are all connected through this giant network. So because of this connection, devices can exchange information with each other within seconds. So even if they are located thousands of kilometers apart, doesn't matter. Whenever you watch YouTube, sends an email, make a video call or browse Instagram, you are actually using this global network called the internet. Now moving towards the next section, that is nothing but our internet versus World Wide Web. Many people think the internet and the World Wide Web WWW are the same thing, but they are actually different. The internet is the infrastructure and the World Wide Web WWW is one of the service running on the top of the internet. Let's understand with a simple analogy. Imagine a city filled with roads. The roads represents the internet. Okay. Now imagine cars traveling on those roads, and those cars represent websites. So without roads, the cars cannot move. Similarly, without the internet, websites cannot function. So websites are only one service like email, online gaming, cloud storage, video calls, video conferencing, and many other services also run on the internet. So the internet is the network and the web is a service that uses that network. Now coming to an important question, then how device connects to the internet? This is the question. So answer involves two important components. The first one is the router and the second one is your ISP. So this ISP stands for Internet Service Provider. Like companies like your Jio, Airtel, BSNL, Vodafone Idea, and many more services provide internet connectivity to homes and offices. So whenever you purchase an internet connection, your ISP give you access to the internet. So all of you have a router which inside your home, right? This router acts as a middleman. So your laptop, phone, smartphone, a smart TV, and other devices connect to the router. So the router then communicates with your ISP, and this ISP connects you to the global internet. So the actually flow look like this. So your device, this is your device, which is your laptop, mobile phone, smart TV. So your device is connected to the router, and and all your devices may be connected to Wi-Fi, or you can say cable to the router, and this router is connected to the ISP, which is your internet service provider, and then this ISP is connected to the global network, which is internet. Without an ISP, your router cannot access the internet, and without a router, multiple devices can, if there is not, if the router is not available, then you cannot easily share the same connections to the multiple devices. So this is the flow where your device connects to the internet. Okay, now what happens when you open google.com, when you type google.com? So suppose, let's say you open a browser and type google.com. At first glance it feels instant, right? When I type here, let's say I'm typing google.com, now you can see at the first instant it's get loaded, right? So what is that? At first glance it feels instant, but behind the scenes many things happens within this milliseconds, right? First, your browser needs to locate the Google server. So every server on the internet has IP address, right? Has an address. So your browser must figure out where Google server is located. So once the address is found, your browser prepares a request, and these requests travel through your router, then through your ISP, then across the internet, and eventually the request reaches Google server. Now, Google server receives the request and begins to process it. Then the server prepares a response which contains the web page data, and that response is sent back to across the internet. So this and finally your browser receives the response and display the Google homepage on your screen as it is. Got it? All of this happens so quickly that most people never realize that how many steps are involved. So this is the full flow. Like, you type google.com, browser asks the DNS server for the IP address of the google.com. Then DNS server returns the IP address. Then browser sends the request to the Google server. Then it start processing. Then it sends the response back to the browser, and browser receives the data and displays Google home pages. Now, one thing is, what is in the response? In the response, there is something called HTML structure, CSS styling, JavaScript, its functionality, images, and other files. So these are the things which are written in the responses. Okay. Now, one more important thing: how the data travels. Now, how data travels as packets, right? So whenever we send the data, we do not send it a single piece. So data is not sent as one big piece. It is broken into a small piece, which is called packets. So how it works? Okay, so whenever your browser sends a request, the data is divided into packets, and the packets might be packet 1, packet 2, packet 3, and packet 4. These packets may even travel through different routes across the internet. Some packets might take different path, some packets might take some different path, but eventually all packets reach the destination server, and the receiving device then reassemble the packets into their original form, and this packet based system makes like your internet communication faster, more efficient, and more reliable. So these are the steps. When you create a data, your browser creates a request for the websites. We divide into the packets, into small packets. Packets will travel separately. each packet may take different routes across the internet, then it reach the destination. After that, but and the important thing is that all packets will reach the destination but not always in the same order, and the packets are put back together into the correct order and the original data is stored. So this is the whole process when the data travels as a packet. So important thing is why packets are needed. So packet is needed because it uses bandwidth efficiently. It can avoid traffic failures, like make the internet fast and reliable. So packets, if I am telling packet 1, packet 2, packet 3 and packet 4, this packet 1 might be following route A, this packet 2 might be following route B, this packet 3 might be following route C, this packet might be following route 4, route D, and so on. So the from the takeaway from this section is like the internet breaks data into packets. Packets travel independently through the different routes, these packets, and they are reassembled at the destination to form the original data. Now coming to the conclusion of this part, so let me quickly summarize everything what we learned. So the internet is nothing but your massive network of interconnected devices, and to connect the internet your device uses a router, and the router communicates with your what, ISP, and the ISP provides access to the global internet. When you visit a website, your request travels across the internet to the server, and the server process the request and sends back to back a response, and the data is transferred in the form of what, packets, and these packets are reassembled by your browser and displayed as a web page. So the major components involved are what, devices, routers, internet service provider, in internet backbone networks, and the server, and together they make an internet. I hope you found this video useful. Thank you for watching this video.